Okay. So, good afternoon, my dear friends. How are you all? Yes. So, sir, what are we doing today? My dear friends, in chapter 2, unit 1, there were two parts. In chapter 2, unit 1, there were two parts. Number 1 was demand, and the number 2 was elasticity of demand. So, if you all remember very well, we had completed demand the last day. Today, we are discussing elasticity of demand. आज अपने क्या करने वाले हैं? Elasticity of demand. Okay. So, let's go about it, sir. Let's go about it, sir. Now, my dear friends, the question is, what is elasticity of demand? What does it imply? My dear friends, let me take you to law of demand. In order to start elasticity of demand, let's go back to the last class and understand law of demand. What did law of demand say? Sir, law of demand told us that when price of a commodity increased, quantity demanded fell, and when price of the commodity fell, quantity demanded rose, other factors remaining constant. I hope all of you believe that and remember that. Yes, sir, we do. My dear friends, law of demand is qualitative in nature. What did I say? Law of demand is qualitative in nature. That's what I've written here. Law of demand is qualitative in nature. Sir, why? Because see, law of demand is telling us that when price rises, quantity demanded falls. Or when price falls, quantity demanded rises. Law of demand is telling us both the things. Law of demand is telling us both the things. But my question is, law of demand is telling us both the things. My question is simple. By how much? Is law of demand telling us that? So let's say if price is rising by 10%, is quantity demanded falling by 20%? Is it falling by 30%? Or is it falling by 50%? Is law of demand mentioning anything about the same? No, sir, it doesn't. There comes elasticity of demand. So basically, elasticity of demand is quantitative in nature. Law of demand was just talking about direction. That is, when price rises, quantity falls. When price falls, quantity rises. Law of demand was just telling us this. Elasticity of demand tells us by how much. So if let's say price is rising by 10%, then by how much percent will quantity demanded fall? Elasticity of demand tells us that. So remember the first point of difference. Law of demand is qualitative in nature, while elasticity of demand is, yes, you told correct, quantitative in nature. Elasticity of demand is quantitative in nature. To summarize it in Hindi, law of demand अपने को ये बताता है कि अगर एक कमोडिटी का प्राइस बढ़ेगा तो क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड घटेगा, या प्राइस घटेगा तो क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड बढ़ेगा. लॉ ऑफ डिमांड अपने को ये तो बताता है, बट कितने से, बाय हाउ मच? ऐसा कभी भी लॉ ऑफ डिमांड अपने को बताया क्या? नहीं सर, लॉ ऑफ डिमांड ये तो नहीं बताता. दिस इज व्हाट आई एम सेइंग. इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड इस बात का जवाब देता है. इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड टेल्स अस if price rises, then by how much percent will quantity fall? या if price falls, then how much percent quantity will rise? कितना से? अगर प्राइस गिर रहा है तो क्वांटिटी कितना परसेंट से बढ़ेगा, या प्राइस बढ़ रहा है तो क्वांटिटी कितना परसेंट से घटेगा. So when you talk about numerical figures, it's elasticity of demand. When you talk about general direction, it's, yes, law of demand. Guys, I believe this much is crystal clear. You or no in the chat, guys? Yes, sir, we understood. Yes, sir, we understood. All right, fantastic. Then let's go about it. This is what we are saying. Because it only talks about direction but not magnitude. It's written here. Matter of fact, I have uploaded this PDF. It is only talking about direction, not about magnitude. Law of demand. But here we have elasticity of demand. Elasticity of demand will answer our question of how much. What is the question? By how much? So elasticity of demand is going to answer this for us. Acha, is that so, sir? All right, sir. Amazing, sir. Amazing, 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 sir. Crystal clear. So with that being said, now let me tell you, there are three concepts mainly of elasticity that we study. Price elasticity, income elasticity, cross elasticity. There is also something called advertisement elasticity. But you see now, I'll tell you one thing. If you all do smart work now, I'll tell you one thing. If you understand any two or three of this now, if you understand this three now, others will become very obvious to you. So don't worry about that. Understood? So don't worry about that. It will be clear. All right, sir. So let's go about it. Now, what is price elasticity of demand? Now, what is price elasticity of demand? Let's focus there. Let's focus there. elasticity of demand या price elasticity of demand, what is it? I will explain in English as well as in Hindi. So please pay attention, everyone. First, I'll explain it in English. Okay. So price elasticity of demand is telling us that if, let's say, price is, let me give you an example. Okay. Suppose price is rising by 1%. I am explaining you price elasticity of demand. Okay. Suppose price is rising by 1%. Suppose price is rising by 1%. Okay. Let's say price is rising by 1%. Okay. If guys, price is rising by 1%, if price is rising by 1%, just observe this. Quantity is falling by, for example, quantity is going down by 5%. So if you look at the ratio of quantity fall and price rise, it's 5% by 1%. Isn't it, my dear friends? Yes. So the value is 5. This is price elasticity of demand. So now to explain you very simply, suppose I tell you that price elasticity of demand is -3. What does it mean? Please pay attention, everybody. Please pay attention, everybody. Please pay attention, everybody. If price elasticity of demand is -3, so if there is a minus sign here, what does minus sign indicate? Inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. So why is there a minus sign in elasticity? Why is there a minus sign in elasticity? Because of inverse relationship between price of the commodity and quantity demanded of the commodity. That's why minus sign. This much understood? माइनस साइन क्यों है प्राइस इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड में? माइनस साइन ये दिखाता है कि अगर प्राइस बढ़ रहा है तो डिमांड घट रहा है, या प्राइस घट रहा है तो डिमांड बढ़ रहा है. इस वजह से ये नेगेटिव है, नेगेटिव स्लोप दिखाता है. क्लियर है ना? या नेगेटिव रिलेशनशिप, इनवर्स रिलेशनशिप दिखाता है. बट सर, व्हाट डज दिस 3 इंडिकेट? What does this 3 indicate? What is the meaning of this word, this number 3? It means, pay attention everybody, it means that every time price is rising by 1%, what? Every time price is rising by 1%, quantity is falling down by 3%. That is 1% into 3. Every time price is rising by 5%, quantity is falling down by 5 into 3, 15%. Oh, we got it, sir. We got it, sir. We got it, sir. So every time we will have to multiply with percentage in price. So we will get percentage change in quantity. Yes, this is what elasticity does for us. It helps to bridge the gap between percentage change in price and percentage change in quantity. So if you multiply price elasticity of demand with percentage change in price, you will get the percentage change in quantity. You will get the percentage change in quantity. Oh, sir, is that so? Yes, my dear friends, that is so. अच्छा, एक बार फिर रिपीट करिए सर. लेट मी एक्सप्लेन इट इन हिंदी. प्राइस इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड अगर -3 है, इसका मतलब क्या है? इससे आपको प्राइस इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड समझ आ जाएगा. माइनस का मतलब है कि अगर प्राइस बढ़ेगा किसी कमोडिटी का तो क्वांटिटी घटेगा, या फिर प्राइस घटेगा तो क्वांटिटी बढ़ेगा. और सर इस 3 का क्या मतलब है? इस 3 का मतलब है कि अगर प्राइस 1% से बदल रहा है तो क्वांटिटी 1% इंटू 3% से बदलेगा. अगर प्राइस 2% से बदल रहा है तो क्वांटिटी 2% इंटू 6% से बदलेगा. तो मतलब प्राइस जितना भी परसेंट से बदले, अगर आप उसमें इलास्टिसिटी मल्टीप्लाई कर दो तो क्वांटिटी कितना परसेंट से बदलेगा आपको वो मिल जाएगा. माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, दिस इज प्राइस इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड. इज इट क्रिस्टल क्लियर? यस और नो एवरीबॉडी इन द चैट बॉक्स. यो और नो? कम ऑन एवरीबॉडी इन द चैट बॉक्स प्लीज, फटाफट. यस सर, कम ऑन एवरीवन. Okay, तो everybody is crystal clear with it. Very good. सभी को crystal clear है, बहुत ही बढ़िया. अब आगे बात करते हैं. Let's pay attention, friends. Now the next question arises. How do we measure price elasticity of demand? The question is, how do we measure price elasticity of demand? Price elasticity of demand को measure कैसे करें सर? Calculate कैसे करें सर? एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन आ जाए तो let me tell you. Mainly speaking, I'll repeat for you. Mainly speaking, there are 4 to 5 methods of understanding it. Let me sum it up for you. There is one thing called percentage method. We will do all. We will discuss all. Pay attention. Total percentage method, total expenditure method. I mean, total expenditure method is also called total outlay method. Please remember, it is also called total outlay method. Okay? Yes, sir. There is point elasticity method. Then you have this two more methods. I'll write it down for you. There is something called geometric method. We will discuss this today as well. And then there is something called arc elasticity method. There is something called geometric method, as well as there is something called arc elasticity method. So we are going to cover them up one by one, but most important is the percentage method. Acha, when I say most important, it doesn't mean I'm giving any kind of prediction that it will come in exam. Most important I'm saying because this will help you understand other concepts as well. Okay. So what is percentage method? Percentage method, I mean, how do you calculate elasticity using the percentage method? Here is the formula. See, EP. P here is price, E is elasticity, obviously. So what we are discussing here, price elasticity of demand. What we are discussing here, price elasticity of demand. Okay, sir, we get it, sir. So now, how is price elasticity of demand computed? As you can clearly see the formula, percentage change in quantity demanded by percentage change in price. Okay. So how do you compute it? Percentage change in quantity demanded by percentage change in price. Got it, sir? So once you have understood this, that price elasticity is percentage change in quantity demanded by percentage change in price. Once you have understood this, price elasticity of demand is percentage change in quantity demanded by percentage change in price. Okay. Now please remember my lovely friends. Let me give you an example. Let's say P1. P1 is original price. Okay, 10 rupees. P2 is new price, 15 rupees. Let's say. So price has risen. Price has risen. Okay, sir. Now let's say original quantity was 100. New quantity is 40. So what did I tell you? First, you will have to find out the percentage change in quantity. Now, how do you... Achha, by the way, I'll tell you one thing. I will write this triangle again and again. So this triangle or delta means change. So whenever I write this, please don't be confused. Delta means change. Delta means change. Delta का मतलब change होता है. Okay. Now, sir, how do you compute percentage change in quantity demanded? My dear friends, it's very simple. Percentage change in quantity demanded is computed like this. New quantity minus old quantity by old quantity into 100. Okay, sir, we get it, sir. Similarly, how do we compute percentage change in price? New price minus old price by old price into 100. Oh, is that so, sir? Yes, sir. This is how it's computed. Please remember this and note it down. It's written in institute's material as well. Obviously, all of the things we are doing from institute material only. It's just that if somebody is not able to note down, doesn't matter. It's in institute's material. Okay. Pay attention now. Pay attention on learning and understanding. As far as copying is concerned, that is available. Notes are available everywhere. The best one is institute material. So why worry? Pay attention here. Okay. Now see. Change in quantity. Q2 is 40. Q1 is 100. So when you focus on percentage change in quantity demanded, pay attention everybody. When you focus on percentage change in quantity demanded, what is the value? Q2 that is 40 minus original that is 100. Okay, by original which is 100, and to convert it into percentage, we ultimately multiplied with 100. Okay, sir, we get it. So here we did it 40 minus 100 by 100 into 100. So 100 gone, minus 60%. Sir, why minus came? Because quantity was falling. Because quantity was falling, क्योंकि quantity गिर रहा था, इसलिए quantity में percentage change minus sign है. ठीक है? Yes, sir. What about percentage change in price? Let's try to solve it here. Percentage change in price. This delta means change, by the way. So what is the new price? 15. What is the old price? 10. What is the old price again? 10 into 100. So if you try to cut them off, it's 10 and 5 into 10, 50. So 50%. Now look carefully. Price is positive. Price is positive because price was rising. Quantity is falling. Now see, we have both the data, percentage change in quantity demanded as well as we have percentage change in price. Plus what is to be done now? Just put the values and your answer is there. You see, minus 60% by 50%. So we have just cut them off and we got minus 1.2. Why this minus sign? I repeat, it indicates negative relationship between price and quantity demanded. What does this 1.2 mean? This 1.2 means every time price changes by 1%, quantity will change by 1.2%. Oh, we got it, sir. We got it, sir. I have written the interpretation here. Now, sir, one more thing I will want to want you all to note down that yes, elasticity is minus 1.2, correct. But for presentation, what did I say? For presentation, what did I say? For presentation के लिए. And by the way, remember, always percentage change in quantity is the numerator. Quantity is the numerator, price is the denominator. Don't inverse it. Quantity is the numerator, price is the denominator. Okay. So what I was telling you is, yes, we got the value of minus 1.2. That's correct. But for the sake of presentation, I will repeat it for you. For the sake of presentation, whenever we write elasticity, we present it in modulus. What does modulus do? It converts this negative thing into a positive thing. Oh, so what does this modulus do? The modulus's main task is simply to convert a negative value into a positive value. Sir, what if modulus has a positive value? It will still remain a positive value. You know, you can compare this modulus sign to coronavirus. Why, sir? How come we can compare modulus to coronavirus? You see, if somebody was tested negative and if modulus, let's say this modulus is coronavirus, what will coronavirus do to that thing? It will make that negative person positive. So see, that is what modulus is doing. But what if someone is already positive? Then coronavirus will let it be positive only. That is what it is. Understood, sir? Obviously, I know the example was very poor. Okay, but it helps you to learn things. Okay. So whatever it is, the broad bottom line is, whenever you present elasticity of demand or price elasticity of demand, please remember, whenever you present price elasticity of demand, please remember, you will always present the answer in the modulus sign. You are correct that this is the correct answer, minus 1.2. But for the sake of presentation, we put it into modulus sign. I hope that's crystal clear, everyone. I hope it's crystal clear, everyone. Come on, friends. Is it crystal clear? Come on, guys. Yes, sir. Crystal clear, sir. Crystal clear. Moving on. Now, my dear friends, if this is crystal clear, you know, I am explaining you different types of price elasticity of demand under percentage method. So what is percentage method? Percentage change in quantity demanded by percentage change in price. Achha, let me give you all a question, okay? Let me give you all a question, then only we will understand how much you understood, how much you did not, okay? So let me give you a question. Are you ready to take up the question? Yes, sir, we are ready. Please go ahead. Okay, let me give you a question then. Only then I will explain further concepts. Let's solve a question first. I'll give you all a question. Come on, everyone. Okay. If answer is positive, then we let it be positive. Agar answer positive hai, to let it be positive. Okay. Yes, sir. So here is the question. Please note it down, everybody. The question is, quantity demanded of a commodity at price of rupees 9 per unit is 800 units. So at 9 per unit, it is 800 units that is demanded. Okay. If price falls by 25%, if price falls by 25%, demand rises by 160 units. Okay. Compute price elasticity of demand, EP. I have taken this question from Institute Material. Come on, try it out, everybody. Let's see how many of you are able to answer this. Come on. So original price was 9 per unit. Then price fell by 25%. Okay. So demand, which was originally 800, it increased by 160 units, not 2, by 160 units. So let's see what you all answer. Let's hear it from you all. Come on, everybody. So yes, you people are already answering and it's absolutely correct. You are telling me, sir, see, the original price is 9 rupees. And we know what is price elasticity of demand. Always write the formula first. Percentage change in quantity demanded by percentage change in price. The good news is price falls by 25% is given. So one part we don't have to calculate as percentage change in price. It is falling by 25%. Since it is already given in terms of percentage, why the hell do I need to calculate it? So obviously it is written minus 25%. We are happy about that. Let it be as it is. But now what happens to quantity? Quantity rises by 160 units. So Now, if you talk about change in quantity, it is 160. What was the original quantity? It is 800. You all know the percentage change in quantity. It is the change in quantity. That is by how much it has increased or by how much it has decreased. So it has increased by 160. So plus 160. By what was the original quantity? Sir, it was 800 into 100. That's right. Into 100. That's right. Sir, we get it. So with that being said, here when we calculate, we get it to be 5, so 20. So we will put 20% here, isn't it, friends? So sir, percentage gone. Answer is minus 20 by 25, which gives us, I think, 0.8 minus 0.8. So yes, price elasticity is minus 0.8, but for the sake of presentation, we will write modulus 0.8. That is it. But yes, for all calculation we use this value. For only for presentation we will show modulus. सिर्फ presentation के लिए हम लोग modulus दिखाते हैं, बाकी real value हम लोग हमेशा यही use करते हैं. Is that crystal clear, friends? Very good to see. Most of you gave the correct answer. Most of you gave the correct answer. Always remember, percentage change in quantity demanded will be the numerator. Percentage change in price will be the denominator. That is it. Okay, sir. Sir, let's go to another question. This time I will give you the elasticity value. You will have to do the computation further. Okay. Let's see, sir. Let's see, sir. Let me give you another question. Okay. I hope you all are ready. Yes, sir, we are. See, a consumer buys 80 units of a good, at price of rupees 4 per unit. Now suppose price elasticity is given by them, it is minus 4. Price elasticity is minus 4. At what price? So they are asking us to find the price now. At what price will he buy 60 units? So guys, before you solve this question, hold on. I want you to learn one more thing. Yes. We will take the positive value. But here, a consumer buys 80 units of a good at price of rupees 4 per unit. Now price elasticity is minus 4. They're asking us at what price will he buy 60 units. So let me explain it to you. Okay, let me help you out. Pay attention, everybody. See, let's pay attention, everybody. See, all of us know that, sir, we do percentage change in quantity demanded by percentage change in price. We learned this, right? Now I will write a new formula from this formula only. Pay attention, everybody. Dhyan dijiye. Percentage change in quantity demanded, how is it calculated? It is new quantity minus original quantity by original quantity into 100 divided by percentage change in price. How it's computed? New price minus old price by old price into 100. Yes, sir. Now 100 gone. 100 gone. Yes, sir. So Q2 minus Q1 is change in quantity by Q1 is original quantity divided by P2 minus P1 is change in price by P1 is original price. Oh, so this is the new formula, sir. Change in quantity by original quantity into P1 by change in price. So we can finally nourish. This is also percentage method because this formula has been derived from percentage method only. So you can also use the formula change in quantity by change in price into original price by original quantity. Mind you, here change in quantity is not percentage change. It is unit change. So suppose 100 to 120. So unit change is 20 units. If let's say price is falling from 5 to 3, change in price is minus 2. That's it. Oh, so you are telling us we can use this formula as well. Yes, I'm telling you this. Okay, got it, sir. So this I just told you so that whenever we need to use this, we can use this data also. We can take advantage of this data as well. Okay, let's see. Now I will use this formula only. Acha, by the way, we can use any formula, but this one is easier. So note it down, everybody. Very easy formula. Change in Q by change in P by into original price by original quantity. Please note it down, everyone. Yes, sir, we have noted it down. So now see, I will help you out. Solution. At what price will he buy 60 units? Now you pay attention. See, original quantity was 80 units. Original price was 4 rupees. Cool? Yes, sir, cool. No problem. What is the new price? We don't know. P2 equals to not known because we have to find it out. But what is the new quantity? We know 60 units. So what is the change in quantity? From 80 to 60, it means it has fallen by minus, it has fallen by 20. So we will put a minus sign to indicate the falling nature. Price, we don't know what it is. So what I can write is change in price is equals to, we obviously know since quantity has fallen, price must have risen. So change in price is P2, which we believe is greater, which we believe will be greater, which we believe will be greater. Sir, how come? Because quantity has fallen, so price must have risen. Okay, so change in price is new price, again minus what is the old price. What is the old price? Always new minus old, always new minus old, always new minus old. What is the old one? 4 rupees. Got it, sir? Now we have this formula in front of us, right? What is the formula? That elasticity equals to change in quantity by change in price into original price by original quantity. We can use this formula. Okay, got it, sir? So now pay attention. What is the value of elasticity? It's minus 4. Remember, here we will put minus sign only, not positive. Positive is only, placed for depiction when we are asked to calculate price elasticity of demand, only for showcase purpose. Otherwise, for practical purposes, we will always use the negative sign. Okay. Now, what is change in quantity? Change in quantity is minus 20. What is change in price? It is P2 minus 4. What is original price? Original price is 4 rupees. And what is original quantity? Dear friends, original quantity is 20 rupees. What is original quantity? Okay, it's not 20, it's 80 units. My bad. It's 80 units. Okay. So when we deduct it, or when we rather solve it, pay attention, friends. Pay attention, friends. Let's look at some common mistakes students make. First of all, see, it's negative. So we have got to remove this negative sign. Done. Done. Next, 24s are 80. Correct? 4 1s are 4. Absolutely, sir. We get it, sir. So now, if we cross multiply, we have 4 equals to 1 by P2 minus 4. We have this. So when we cross multiply, we get 4 into P2 because we are cross multiplying now. 4 into P2 minus 4 equals to 1 because P2 minus 4 has gone there. What is happening? 4 P2 minus 16 equals to 1. Yes, sir, because we have multiplied. So what are we getting? We are getting 4 P2 equals to 1 plus 16, which is 17, because minus 16 is going there now. So plus 16, and that implies P2 equals to 17 by 4. So if you solve 17 by 4, you will end up with 4.25, I believe. Okay, so it will be landing with 4.2, I believe. You'll check it. You can clearly check it. So it will be around 4.25. So the new price will be rupees 4.25 per unit. And that's what our answer is going to be. Come on, friends. Is it crystal clear? Come on. Is it crystal clear, friends? Every step must be clear. It's pure maths going on here. Understood, not understood, everybody? Come on, everybody. Yes, sir. It's crystal clear. So we have understood this formula. We have understood this formula. Change in quantity by change in price into original price by original quantity. Okay, sir. So 4.25 will be the answer. चलिए अब आगे बढ़ते हैं. Let's move forward. Okay. Now, sir, what are we discussing? My dear friends, we are discussing types of price elasticity of demand. What are we discussing, sir? We are discussing types of price elasticity of demand. Okay. So what are the types of price elasticity of demand? Under percentage method, obviously, which we have just done. Pay attention. Very important discussion. Very important discussion. Pay attention, everybody. Pay attention. Focus here. See, first case is perfectly elastic demand. Sir, what is perfectly elastic demand? My dear friends, perfectly elastic demand is a situation. ये एक ऐसा situation है जहां पे price लगभग same रहेगा. Price will remain the same, but quantity will keep changing. But quantity will keep changing. So for a negligible change in price, quantity will change by large amount. Sir, is it really possible? No. And yes, price is taken per unit, correct. And remember, when I'm talking about this one, perfectly elastic demand, is it really possible? No. But what happens in perfectly elastic demand? Here, there is negligible change in price, okay, but quantity changes. So when you calculate the formula, percentage change in quantity by percentage change in price, obviously percentage change in price is zero. So anything by zero is infinity or undefined. That's why we put the sign infinity or undefined. Oh, so you are telling us in perfectly elastic demand, in case of perfectly elastic demand, the value of elasticity in modulus will be infinity or undefined. That's exactly what I'm saying. Also remember how the graph will look. It will be a horizontal axis, horizontal parallel to x-axis. Sir, how this was drawn? Let me help you out. Let me tell you. See, price is constant, quantity is changing again and again. So what I'm telling you is, if this is Q1, you see this is Q1. If this is Q2, and if this is Q3, because only quantity is changing, price is not. So when you connect the dots, when you connect all of them, the curve that you will automatically get, if you remember the concept, is this horizontal curve. Remember, here price is constant. Quantity keeps on changing. Perfectly elastic demand, value is infinity. Value is infinity. Value is infinity. Obviously, we are considering the modulus values only. Oh, acha. Understood, sir. Very good, my dear friends. Moving on. So just like we moved from perfectly elastic demand, now we are on to perfectly inelastic demand. Is it something new? No, it's just the opposite. Here, quantity will not change. Quantity becomes a constant. Price may change. It is true to some extent, but not always. Like, for example, medicine. Medicine is such an important thing. We will not say that medicine is perfectly inelastic demand. No, it's wrong to say. But try to feel the example. Just because a medicine's price has risen from 10 to 20 units doesn't mean you will reduce the dosage or you will stop consuming the medicine, right? That's perfectly inelastic demand. When despite the change in price, quantity is not changing. Again, if you put it in formula, percentage change in quantity demanded is always the numerator, and here the quantity demanded is not changing at all. Now, whatever the price change be, it may be by X. Since numerator is zero, elasticity will always be zero. Here the curve will be parallel to y-axis. As you can see, here quantity has remained the same and price is constantly rising from P1 to P2 to P3. So if I remove this line and if you plot the dots, P1 and Q1 intersect here, P2 and Q1 again intersect here, again P3 and Q1 intersect here. So if you join them out, the curve that you will automatically be generated, you have got it. The curve that will automatically be generated, you have got it. It will be a vertical curve parallel to y-axis. It will be a vertical curve in case of perfectly inelastic demand. Vertical curve parallel to y-axis. And guys, please remember, once I'm explaining this elasticity concepts, I will not repeat them. Okay, so please focus, parallel to y-axis. Got it, sir. So both of them were somehow perfect in nature. Okay, but let's talk about something realistic. This is called relatively elastic demand. Acha, remember one more thing. If in your examination, pay attention everybody. If in your examination, institute mentions the word elastic demand, it means they are talking about relatively elastic demand. Please remember. Will you remember this? Come on, God promise, will you remember this? Yes, sir, God promise, we will remember this. So what did I say? That if institute mentions elastic demand, if an exam they are giving you elastic demand, it doesn't matter. Elastic demand is nothing but relatively elastic demand. Understood? Yes, sir. This I have explained so that there is no confusion. Now, what is relatively elastic demand? Now, see, here both will change. You know, in the perfect scenario, price was not changing or quantity was not changing, one or the other. In relatively elastic demand, quantity is also changing, price is also changing. But who is changing with a greater percentage? The numerator, that is the quantity. Oh, so you're telling us that the percentage change in quantity is greater than percentage change in price. Yes, that's what I'm telling you. Percentage change in quantity is greater than percentage change in price. Exactly what I'm telling you. And sir, since the numerator is greater than denominator, the fraction will always be greater than 1. Think of any example. अरे बाबा अगर न्यूमरेटर डिनोमिनेटर से ज्यादा रहा तो फ्रैक्शन की वैल्यू 1 से ज्यादा ही ना होगी. Yes sir, we are understanding that. So there it is. Remember, we are only dealing with modulus values. So when we say here elasticity is greater than 1, it means modulus of elasticity is greater than 1. What does it mean? It means modulus of elasticity is greater than 1. Not elasticity, modulus of elasticity is greater than 1. Okay, that's relatively elastic demand. Acha, who is in more Josh? Where the Josh is high, sir? The Josh is high in case of percentage change in quantity demanded. Okay, change is in both. But which is in a higher Josh? Quantity demanded. That's relatively elastic demand. How will the curve be? It will somehow be like this. It will be, if you observe, it will be a relatively flatter curve. Flatter curve. So remember, the curve will be relatively flatter. In which case? In the case of relatively elastic demand. In which case? In the case of relatively elastic demand. So if somebody asks you, what is the shape? Remember, it's flatter here. Okay. Yes, sir. Moving on, we are discussing relatively inelastic demand. Okay. Guys, this much is crystal clear now? Okay. I'm waiting for your reply. All right. Understood, sir. Okay. So now we move on to relatively inelastic demand. Where are we moving on to? So we are moving on to relatively inelastic demand. Here the opposite will happen. That is, who is going to change by a greater percentage? Who is going to change by a greater percentage? The greater percentage change will be in price. So price will change by a greater percentage, not quantity. Who will change by a greater percent? Price will change by a greater percent, not quantity, my dear friends. Here price will change by a greater percentage, not quantity. Not quantity. Okay, sir, we get it, sir. So this is the case of relatively inelastic demand. This is the case of relatively inelastic demand, where what will change by a greater percentage? Price will change by a greater percentage. Where what will change by a greater percentage? Price will change by a greater percentage. Okay, sir. And what will be the value of elasticity here? It will be less than 1. Here the value of elasticity will be less than 1. So who is in more Josh? Price is in greater Josh. Oh, so you're telling just the opposite of relatively elastic demand. Yes, that's what. So here, see the denominator, percentage change in quantity demanded by percentage change in price. So here the denominator is greater. Here the denominator is greater. Here the denominator is greater. And therefore, since the denominator is greater, please remember, since the denominator is greater, the fraction will be less than 1. The fraction will be less than 1. Okay, sir. We got it, sir. We got it, sir. Understood, sir. So now, remember the curve here will be steeper. It's not flatter. Sir, can you show us the curve? Yes, if you draw it now, you will understand. Let's say here is price, here is quantity. So if price is low, quantity is here, Q1. But now, price is rising with a greater percentage. So put the gap greater, quantity is falling, but keep the gap lesser. So P1, Q1 are intersecting here, P2, Q2 are intersecting here. Automatically, you will get a narrow or a steep curve. So remember, if somebody asks you, when is the curve steep? It is in the case of relatively inelastic demand. Steeper curve. Oh, so sir, we have understood 4 curves till now and 4 types of elasticity till now. The number 1 was perfectly elastic demand. Number 2, perfectly inelastic demand. In perfectly elastic demand, the curve was horizontal parallel to x-axis. In perfectly inelastic demand, the curve was vertical parallel to y-axis. In the case of relatively elastic demand, the curve was downward sloping, but a relatively flatter one. And in the case of relatively inelastic demand, the curve was a steeper one. Okay, sir. And finally, we come to unitary elastic demand. Here, both are in equal Josh. What is the Josh? Equal, sir. That is percentage change in quantity demanded will be equal to percentage change in price. You know this shape that you see here, this blue figure shape that you are seeing here, that is called a rectangular hyperbola. What is it called? This shape is called a rectangular hyperbola. Can you tell me why, guys? Is it called a rectangular hyperbola? Because if you draw a rectangle within it, area of each rectangle will be the same. And therefore we call it unitary elastic demand. Unitary means one. Oh, so you're telling us unitary means one. Yes, sir. That's what I'm telling you. Got it, sir. So my dear friends, this brings us to the end of percentage method. Now we are going to discuss two more methods which are very simple in nature. Actually not two, three more methods. Okay, point elasticity method, geometric method, and arc elasticity method. Then we will come to total outlay or total expenditure method. Okay, so have a look, guys. Pay attention, everybody. Very important discussion going on right now. Okay, crystal clear till here. All right, sir. Let's go. So my dear friends, if we talk about it even further, let's see what is happening around here. All right, let's see what is happening around here. See, point elasticity is very simple. Okay, point elasticity is very simple. Here you just have to remember one formula, nothing else. So don't create a lot of panic. Here the elasticity value is, see, this is price and quantity ratio. And here you have in maths you must have done derivatives. If not done, you will soon do derivatives. It is a part of calculus. So if you differentiate, if p by q you differentiate, it becomes dp by dq. And if you reciprocate it, it will become dq by dp. And just you put a minus sign. So just this much you remember. Nothing much to remember. One more thing. I know most of you will ask me, sir, we understood this is price quantity ratio. We got it, sir. But sir, what we did not understand was, what is this dq by dp? Just remember the formula. Don't panic too much. By the way, this is under derivatives. You will study this in maths if you have not already studied. Okay. So focus it there. Otherwise, no need to panic. Point elasticity is this much only. Okay. Don't try to panic. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. All right, sir. So this is point elasticity. Before I move further, let me revise for you all the 5 types of elasticities under percentage method. Okay. The first one was perfectly elastic demand. Here the curve was parallel to x-axis. Here the percentage change in quantity demanded was high, but there was no change in price. So price was constant in perfectly elastic demand. Curve was like this, value was infinity. Here in perfectly inelastic demand, price was changing, quantity was constant. It is a vertical curve. It's a vertical curve parallel to y-axis. The value of elasticity here is 0. When we talk about relatively elastic demand, here the value of elasticity is greater than 1. Percentage change in quantity is greater than percentage change in price here. Okay. If we talk about relatively inelastic demand, here percentage change in price is greater than percentage change in quantity. So the value of elasticity is less than 1. And in unitary elastic, percentage change in quantity equals to percentage change in price. Here the shape is called rectangular hyperbola. In unitary elastic demand, the shape is called what? Rectangular hyperbola. Sir, we got it, sir. So let's continue. We were discussing point elasticity method, which is just this formula. Nothing else. Don't panic over it. Yes. Now we study geometric method. This is something to be focused on. Okay. What does geometric method tell us? Geometric method is also, by the way, called linear method. So pay attention, everybody. I'll take time and explain this method. Okay. Don't worry. I'll take time and explain this one. Pay attention, everybody. Okay. See. I am drawing a downward sloping demand curve, which we already know. It is a downward sloping demand curve. The demand curve is always, let me draw this curve for you. Okay, drawn. Now what I'm trying to teach you here is, if let's say this is the price and this is the quantity, geometric method tells us that in order to find out the elasticity, you mark 4 to 5 points. Point number 1, point 2, point 3, point 4, point 5. Can you see? Yes, sir. Let me name each of the points. This is point A, B, C, D, E. Cool? Yes, sir. This method is even more simpler. What does it say? That to calculate elasticity, price elasticity, just take the lower segment length of lower segment by length of upper segment. Bus, finished. Huh? Is it that simple, sir? Yes. So suppose you have to compute elasticity at point A. Suppose you have to compute elasticity at point A. So what is the length of line below A? Sir, it is equivalent to, see the orange line, AE. Is any part of orange line above point A? No, sir, definitely not. So if you do lower by upper, AE by 0, it is giving you infinity. This is called perfectly elastic demand. Oh, so the same 5 types again. Yes, the same 5 types again. So if elasticity is 0, it's perfectly elastic demand. All of you friends know this. It's perfectly elastic demand. Acha, got it, sir. What if, sir, we talk about point B then? My dear friends, if we talk about point B, you look from B to E, BE, and if we look above B, it is AB. So you will already know that, see, below B, it is greater. Below B, it's greater. So the numerator is greater here. So the value will definitely be greater than 1 since numerator is greater. What will this be called? You all guessed it correct. Since the value of elasticity is greater than 1, it is called relatively elastic demand or simply elastic demand. Relatively elastic demand or simply elastic demand. Acha, got it, sir. Now look at C. C is the midpoint of this line. So if you look at C, it is the midpoint. So we could very well say the length of CE equals to the length of AC. The length of CE is equals to the length of AC. So when we do CE divided by AC, since both the lengths are equal, the value will obviously be 1. This is what? When the value of elasticity is 1, what did we study? It's called unitary elastic demand. Remember, this is another method of calculating price elasticity of demand only. Okay. Now again, if you move to point D, below D, DE, and above D, AD. So DE by AD. Okay, we get it, sir. DE by AD. Obviously, here denominator is greater. So the value will be less than 1. This is again called relatively inelastic demand. Relatively inelastic demand. And finally, when you reach point E, which is here, just touching the x-axis, lower segment, below E, do you see anything? No. And above E, the entire AE is above it. The entire AE is above it. So 0 by AE, which is 0. So we call it, what do we call it? Absolutely correct. Perfectly inelastic demand. Not elastic, perfectly inelastic demand. Perfectly inelastic demand. There you have it. My dear friends, you will be surprised, but let me tell you something. This geometric method is also over. Acha, I told you na, once you understand percentage method, understanding other methods to calculate elasticity is very, very easy. Okay, moving on. Second method was point elasticity. Third was geometric. One more method, arc elasticity. And then we will do total outlay method. So 2 more methods. Another one we are doing is arc elasticity method. Okay. So pay attention and listen to what arc elasticity method tells us. Okay. Pay attention, friends. Guys, you all remember, I'll show you the formula which I displayed you a while back under percentage method. If you all remember, how did we calculate elasticity under percentage method? Sir, we did was percentage change in quantity divided by percentage change in price, right? But how did we calculate percentage change in quantity demanded? It was, sir, new quantity minus old quantity by old quantity into 100, right? Yes, sir, we do remember this. You are right. Similarly, now we are discussing arc elasticity, by the way. Okay. Similarly, percentage change in price, what we were doing under percentage method, P2 minus P1 by P1 into 100. Sir, what you have written here for us is just percentage method. So are you talking about percentage method, sir? No. No, not at all. Then what are you talking exactly, sir? Under arc elasticity, the formula is same, just with a slight difference. You know what? EP equals to, now look at arc elasticity. Again, Q2 minus Q1, but here the quantity will be average, not the original. Oh, so you are telling us Q1 plus Q2 by 2. Yes, the denominator will be average quantity into 100 by, again, P2 minus P1 by not original price, average price. Oh, so other things remain the same, sir. Yes, other things remain the same, my dear friends. Other things remain absolutely the same. So basically you are telling us arc elasticity is nothing but change in quantity by average quantity. Similarly, change in price by average price. Here also into 100, here also into 100. So if you subtract into 100 into 100, you get change in quantity by average quantity into average price by change in price. So if you bring them all together, the formula becomes change in quantity by change in price into average price by average quantity. Sir, so it simplifies to change in quantity by change in price into what is average price? P1 plus P2 by 2. What is average quantity? Q1 plus Q2 by 2. So sir, we can deduct 2 na? Yes. So we get the final formula written in our lovely institute material, which is change in quantity by change in price into sum of prices by sum of quantity. So you can calculate anyhow. You can use this formula that I have written in the box, or you can use this formula that I have written in the orange box. Both are the same thing. Sir, can we do some numerical on this? Yes, let's do a numerical on this to make things clearer for you. Remember this formula. This is arc elasticity. Let me give you a question, okay? You all tell me. Suppose, guys, the price was originally 500 rupees and then price fell down to 400 rupees. Quantity originally was 100 units. Now quantity shot up to 150 units. Can you tell me, guys, what is the value of arc elasticity? Can you tell me what is the value of arc elasticity? Anybody? Come on, yaar. Can you tell me the answer, please? Everybody. Yes, sir. So you all are correct if you are saying, ki sir, see, the change in quantity is 150 minus 100, which is plus 50. And what is the change in price? Always new minus old. New is 400, old is 500. So 400 minus 500, absolutely correct. Minus 100. Sir, then we will put the formula, na? A price using arc elasticity is equals to change in quantity is 50. What is change in price? Minus 100 into sum of price. So total of price is 500 and 400, which is 900. And similarly, total of quantity is 100 and 250, which is 250. That's correct. So if you solve it now, 50 5s are 5 180s are right, 0 gone. So 18 by 10, which is minus 1.8. You obviously know how to present it. You will present it as 1.8. But yes, the value that came is minus 1.8. There you have it, friends. There you have it, friends. My dear friends, is that crystal clear? You all know in the chat. Come on, everybody. You all know in the chat. Come on, everybody. Come on, friends. Yes, sir. It is crystal clear to us. Yes, sir. It's crystal clear to us. Very good, yeah. Come on, everybody. Confirm it fatafat. Got it, sir. Sir, can you explain us total outlay method? Yes, that's what I'm headed on to. Remember, total outlay method is also called total expenditure method. Total outlay method is also called total expenditure method. Here you just have to talk about the nature of elasticity. You don't have to find exact numerical. Like example, here I found out minus 1.8 na. This we do under percentage method. Hana, this we do under arc elasticity method, or as a matter of fact, geometric method. Here we find out the exact value. But you know, this we are not doing under this method, percentage method. Percentage method only tells us the nature of elasticity. I mean outlay method. outlay or expenditure method, which we are going to do right now, it will only talk about nature. It will not tell us to find out the exact value. It will only ask us to compute the nature of elasticity. It is not expecting us to write the, exact number. So remember, in outlay method, there are 3 types of elasticity, not 5, only 3. Perfect cases are not here. So there will be either relatively elastic demand, there will be relatively inelastic demand, or there will be unitary elastic demand. Acha. So you are telling us, sir, under expenditure method or outlay method, we don't study about perfect scenarios, that is perfectly elastic or perfectly inelastic. Yes, you are correct, sir. Yes, you are correct, sir. All right, sir. So let's go ahead further. So moving on, sir. Let's see what is going on. Total expenditure method. Let's discuss that total expenditure method. Okay. Total expenditure, by the way, it's also called total outlay. So don't be confused in examination, please. It is also called total outlay method. Okay. Let's go ahead, sir. Yes. So total expenditure is price into quantity. What is total expenditure? Price into quantity. What is total expenditure? Price into quantity. ओके सर, वी गॉट इट. टोटल एक्सपेंडिचर का मतलब होता है प्राइस इनटू क्वांटिटी. अरे आप सोचिए ना, आपको अगर मैं खर्चा निकालने बोलूं कि लेट से आप एक प्रोडक्ट 5 रुपए का खरीद के लाए और कितना यूनिट्स खरीद कर लाए, 100 यूनिट्स, तो मैं आप लोगों से एक सवाल पूछता हूं, आपने खर्चा कितना किया, व्हाट वाज योर एक्सपेंडिचर? तो आप लोग यही ना बोलोगे कि सर 5 रुपीज पर यूनिट था और 100 यूनिट्स था, तो 5 इंटू 100 होता कितना है सर? 500. तो टोटल एक्सपेंडिचर में प्राइस इनटू क्वांटिटी ही ना करेंगे अपने. व्हाट वी विल डू to calculate total expenditure? What will we do? We will compute price into quantity. What else? Yes sir, we agree. Yes sir, we agree. So that's what we have done. Now coming back, as I told you, to calculate price elasticity of demand under total expenditure method, there are not 5 types of elasticities. How many types of elasticities are there? There are 3 types of elasticities. How many types of elasticities, sir? There are 3 types of elasticities. Is that so, sir? Yes, that is so. So let's go about it. So elastic demand, inelastic demand, and unitary elastic demand. Let's talk about each one of them in detail. Okay, Okay, so let's go about it then. All right, shall we go about it? Yes, sir. See, I am pointing you out with 3 cases. Okay, suppose the original case. This is the original case. What is the original case? I will write down the OG case. OG case means original case. I have written it here. That is, price is ₹5. And quantity is 100 units. What is price? ₹5 and quantity is 100. This much you understood. So what is total expenditure? Correct. 5 into 100, 500. This is the OG case, original case. Now we divide it into 3 subtypes. Case 1, case 2, case 3. Suppose in case 1, price has reduced. From 5 rupees to 2 rupees. So guys, you will tell me what happens when price falls. Obviously, you will tell me that when price falls, quantity will rise. So see, that's what has happened. Quantity was originally 100. Now it has become 200. Look at this table only, case 1 only. Yes, sir, it's correct. So what is the new total expenditure? So what is the new total expenditure? So if you look carefully, the new total expenditure is 200 into 2, 400. What is the new total expenditure? It's 200 into 2, 400. Yes, sir, that's correct. So if the new total expenditure is 400, look at the direction. What is happening? When price is falling, so price has gone down from 5 to 2. So look at the direction of total expenditure. Remember, in total expenditure or total outlay method, you compare 2 things. What 2 things do we compare? We compare price and total expenditure. What do we compare? We compare price and total expenditure. I ask you again, what are the 2 things that you take into account in total expenditure method? price and total expenditure, price and total expenditure, price and total expenditure. Now pay attention. See, here price was 5 rupees, price has gone down to 2 rupees. What has happened to total expenditure? Total expenditure originally was 500, it has gone down to 400. So when price is going down, total expenditure is also going down. Same direction, same direction. So my dear friends, when price and total expenditure are in the same direction, then as per total outlay method or total expenditure method, demand is said to be inelastic in nature. That's right. Demand is inelastic in nature. Got it? Let's go to case 2. Suppose price is 5. Price has gone down to 2 rupees. Again, the same thing. But now quantity has risen from 100 units to 250 units. So original total expenditure was how much? 500. What is the new total expenditure? 2 into 250, again 500. So you will tell me one thing. When there was change in price, did the total expenditure change? No. That is called unitary elastic demand. So when due to price, whether price rises or falls, it is immaterial to the total expenditure. अगर total expenditure में कोई बदलाव नहीं आ रहा है, total expenditure change नहीं हो रहा price होने पर भी, that's unitary elastic demand. Okay, sir, we get it. And finally, case 3. Suppose price was 5 and it has gone down to 2. Quantity from 100, it has gone to 300. So new total expenditure is 600. So see, when price is going down from 5 rupees to 2 rupees, total expenditure is going up from 500 rupees to 600 rupees. So when price is falling down, total expenditure is going up. When price is falling down, total expenditure is going up. That, my dear friends, is called elastic demand. Oh, that is elastic demand. Got it. So when, simply speaking, to sum it up, here is the summary. Here is the summary. So look at the 3 things. If price rises, total expenditure falls, or if price rises, total expenditure rises, or if price falls, total expenditure falls. That is, if there is a direct relationship between price and total expenditure, then it is inelastic demand. Under which method? Mind you, we are discussing total expenditure or total outlay method. Oh, we got it, sir. Similarly, if price is rising and falling, but total expenditure is constant, then that is called unitary elastic demand. But if there is inverse relationship between what? Between price and total expenditure. So let's say if price is rising, total expenditure is falling. Or if let's say price is falling and total expenditure is rising. If either of the two is happening, then the demand is said to be what in nature? That's right. Demand is said to be elastic. We call it elastic demand. We call it what demand? We call it elastic demand. अच्छा. So sir, let's summarize it in Hindi also. कुल मिलाकर 3 बातें निकल कर आती है टोटल एक्सपेंडिचर मेथड के अंदर. आपको देखना है प्राइस और टोटल खर्चा. टोटल खर्चा कैसे निकलता है? प्राइस इनटू क्वांटिटी. अगर प्राइस और टोटल खर्चा दोनों बढ़ रहे हैं या दोनों घट रहे हैं, तो टोटल एक्सपेंडिचर मेथड के अंदर उसे इनइलास्टिक डिमांड बोलते हैं. हम साथ साथ हैं. अगर प्राइस बढ़ रहा है और टोटल एक्सपेंडिचर घट रहा है, या फिर अगर प्राइस घट रहा है और टोटल एक्सपेंडिचर बढ़ रहा है, मतलब उल्टा रिलेशनशिप है. अगर उल्टा रिलेशनशिप है तो उसको हम लोग बोलते हैं इलास्टिक डिमांड. इलास्टिक डिमांड, इलास्टिक डिमांड, रिलेटिवली इलास्टिक डिमांड. और अगर प्राइस बढ़े या घटे, टोटल एक्सपेंडिचर में कोई बदलाव नहीं आ रहा है, अगर टोटल एक्सपेंडिचर में कोई बदलाव नहीं आ रहा है, सो दैट इज व्हाट वी कॉल एज, बिल्कुल सही गैस किया आप लोगों ने, यूनिटरी इलास्टिक डिमांड. यूनिटरी इलास्टिक डिमांड. माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, इज दैट क्रिस्टल क्लियर? यस और नो प्लीज, यस और नो प्लीज, यस और नो प्लीज. कम ऑन एवरीबॉडी. Yes, sir. Crystal clear. I think I have summarized it very well. All right, sir. Now we are discussing determinants of price elasticity of demand or factors affecting price elasticity of demand. Determinants slash factors affecting price elasticity of demand. Factors affecting price elasticity of demand. Determinants slash factors affecting price elasticity of demand. All right, so let's go about it. Let's discuss it. Okay, so remember, factors affecting demand and factors affecting elasticity of demand are two different concepts. Do not try to club them together. Okay, Now coming back to the point. The first point is availability of substitutes. What is the first point? Availability of substitutes. Sir, what does it mean? See, I will tell you a trick. Demand will be elastic whenever it is possible to shift. Whenever you cannot shift, you have to buy the commodity. It is inelastic demand. Now see, if substitutes are available, so if Mr. A is charging a higher price, we will move to Mr. B. So therefore, demand will be elastic because demand will respond. Demand will respond with a greater percentage in comparison to price. I told you elastic means relatively elastic only. But if suppose there is only one seller in the market, there is only one seller in the market. Now guys, try and understand, if there is only one seller in the market, even if you don't like Mr. A's pricing policy, do you have any other option? क्या आपके पास कोई रास्ता है? The answer is no. And therefore the demand will be inelastic. तो अगर demand तेजी से बदल सकता है तो अपने elastic बोलेंगे. If demand can change, if demand can respond with a greater vigor, with a greater strength, we call it elastic demand. If demand cannot respond with great vigor, we will call it inelastic demand. Obviously, if substitutes are not available, you will have to buy it from that seller only. So you cannot change your demand and move to another seller. Hence, the demand is inelastic because it is unable to respond. It is unable to change. वो बदल नहीं पा रहा है. Okay, got it, sir. Got it, sir. Got it, sir. Got it, sir. Moving on. The next point is, so first point was availability of substitutes. First point was availability of substitutes. Second point is, nature of commodity. All this, remember, all these points are from institute material. So don't worry. Maybe it can happen that order is jumbled. So let's say I'm teaching something number 2, it is in number 3. That is not a big deal. So pay attention here. Nature of commodity. Now guys, pay attention. If something is a necessity, like rice, wheat, something which we consume for our, day-to-day needs. Come on, obviously, you cannot change their demand. Just because rice price has increased or wheat price has increased doesn't mean you will stop eating from today. You will still need your consumption for basic requirements of life. And therefore, the demand will be inelastic because demand is unable to change. But if, it's comfort or a luxury, let's say if it's an air conditioner, okay? So air conditioner demand, I can say, the price is too high, I'll buy later on. So if there is a possibility of consumption, the demand will be postponement of consumption, the demand will be elastic because you can switch to alternative. Okay. Necessity has no alternative. Moving on. Proportion of income spent, a very important topic indeed. Proportion of income spent. What does it mean, sir? Guys, pay attention. Whenever your parents are taking decision about your school or college, they will think more. You know why? Because a large part of their income is spent on your education. So demand will be elastic. So they can say that this college is too expensive, go to this college. Got it? But tell me, if you go and buy a matchbox, if matchbox price rises from 4 rupees to 4.5 rupees, will your parents ask you to stop buying the matchbox for house needs? Obviously not. If salt price is rising from 10 rupees to 11 rupees, will they ask you to stop buying salt? Obviously not. So demand will not change much if it is an inexpensive commodity. That is, we are not spending much on that. Our income spent on that is negligible. And therefore, the demand on such commodities, the demand of such commodities will be inelastic. But if on something like education, a large part of income is spent, then demand will be very cautious. Demand will be very, price sensitive. It will change a lot with respect to price because a large part of income is being spent there. Got it, sir. Got it, sir. Got it, sir. Got it, sir. So clear. So there it is. Moving on. Postponement of consumption. A very simple question. A very simple question. So this is also called, this proportion of income spent is also called consumer budget. Obviously, income is budget, nothing else. Moving on. Postponement of consumption. So if it is possible to delay consumption, demand is elastic. It is generally for luxuries, for non-necessary commodities, okay, comfort goods, non-necessaries. But if it cannot be postponed, which is necessities, right? Can't be postponed. Then the demand will be inelastic. Obviously, if there is somebody not well at home, if somebody is not well at your home, you will need the medicine today. You cannot postpone it, that let the medicine price fall, then I'll buy it 6 months later. That's the logic, sir. Moving on to the time period factor, a very important one. So what are you trying to say, sir? See, in short run, there are fewer options available. So demand will be inelastic. Because in short, you think now, suppose tomorrow you have to submit a college project. Okay, suppose tomorrow you have to submit a college project. Today, you will have to buy a file. You need to buy a file today. Now it's 9 p.m. Only one shop is open. So they will charge you very high price. You will have to pay because you have very short time. But suppose your college project is to be submitted 1 month later. You have enough time to find out which seller is selling at lowest price. So that time demand will be elastic because you are getting time to adjust your demand. So if you get time to adjust your demand, demand becomes elastic in nature, obviously. If you don't get time to adjust your demand, we will call it inelastic in nature. We will call it inelastic in nature. That's right. Yes, sir, clear. Moving on, price range. So if a commodity is highly priced, अगर commodity expensive है, तब आप लोग बहुत सोचोगे कि कहां से खरीदे. So demand will be elastic. देखिए डिमांड बहुत प्राइस सेंसिटिव हो गया अभी क्योंकि प्रोडक्ट महंगा है. बट अगर कोई सस्ता प्रोडक्ट है तो जस्ट बिकॉज सस्ते प्रोडक्ट का दाम थोड़ा सा बढ़ गया तो आप उसको खरीदना बंद कर दोगे क्या? नहीं. तो डिमांड ज्यादा बदलता नहीं है, इसलिए इनइलास्टिक. गॉट इट सर. हैबिट ऑफ द कंज्यूमर, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो इफ लेट्स से अ कंज्यूमर इज बिकमिंग हैबिचुअल टू समथिंग, they will buy the product no matter the price. So demand will be inelastic. Suppose somebody has the habit of smoking. They are a chain smoker. So even if the price of cigarette rises, their consumption of that will not change. So demand will be inelastic. But let's say consumer is not habituated to that product. So they will only want that product when the price is low. So demand will be elastic in nature. When it becomes a habit, demand becomes inelastic because now price will not affect your decision. You want it, you will want it. You will buy it. Okay, sir, we got it. So let's summarize all the 7 points in Hindi. I will repeat it. I will summarize all the 7 points in Hindi. So pay attention, everybody. ध्यान दीजिए, everybody. ठीक है? So let's go about it. So there it is. Availability of substitutes. अगर आपके पास बाजार में सब्स्टिट्यूट अवेलेबल है तो आप कोई भी प्रोडक्ट का दाम ज्यादा जोर से बढ़ेगा तो आप सब्स्टिट्यूट से खरीद लोगे, तो डिमांड इलास्टिक होगा. बट अगर सब्स्टिट्यूट अवेलेबल है ही नहीं तो आपको तो उसी से खरीदना पड़ेगा. दैट्स इनइलास्टिक डिमांड. नेचर ऑफ कमोडिटी. अगर कमोडिटी एक नेसेसिटी है, उसके बिना आपका चलेगा ही नहीं, तो क्या आप डिमांड चेंज करना, बदलना अफोर्ड कर पाओगे? नहीं. तो डिमांड इनइलास्टिक होगा. बट अगर कमोडिटी इतना जरूरी नहीं है तो आज अगर आपको दाम महंगा लग भी रहा है, आप बोलोगे कल खरीद लेंगे, परसों खरीद लेंगे. दैट्स कॉल्ड इलास्टिक डिमांड. प्रोपोर्शन ऑफ इनकम स्पेंड. अगर आपका बहुत ज्यादा खर्चा एक पर्टिकुलर एरिया में होता है, आप उसके बारे में ज्यादा सोचोगे, आपका डिमांड उस एरिया में ज्यादा बदलेगा. जिस एरिया में आपका इनकम ज्यादा खर्च ही नहीं होता है, उसका डिमांड इनइलास्टिक होता है. राइट. देन पोस्टपोनमेंट ऑफ कंजम्पशन. क्या प्रोडक्ट आपको अभी के अभी चाहिए या आप फ्यूचर में खरीद सकते हो? अगर आप फ्यूचर में पोस्टपोन कर सकते हो तो डिमांड इलास्टिक है. बट अभी के अभी चाहिए जैसे दवाई, तो वो डिमांड इनइलास्टिक होगा. टाइम पीरियड. अगर आप शॉर्ट टर्म में आपको खरीदना है तो आपके पास ज्यादा ऑप्शंस नहीं रहेंगे तो डिमांड इनइलास्टिक रहेगा. बट अगर लॉन्ग रन आपको मिले तो आप अपने प्राइस के अनुसार डिमांड को अपने कन्वीनियंस के अनुसार एडजस्ट कर सकते हो, तो लॉन्ग रन में डिमांड इलास्टिक होगा. देखिए सिंपल लॉजिक है. जहां डिमांड बदल पा रहा है इलास्टिक, जहां नहीं बदल पा रहा है इनइलास्टिक. प्राइस रेंज. अगर प्रोडक्ट महंगा है तब ना आप उसके बारे में ज्यादा सोचोगे और तब आप प्राइस पता करोगे 10 जगह, तो इलास्टिक डिमांड. बट अगर प्रोडक्ट बहुत सस्ता है तो इनइलास्टिक डिमांड, क्योंकि प्रोडक्ट जरा सा बढ़ गया तो आपको फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. हैबिट ऑफ कंज्यूमर. अगर आपको किसी प्रोडक्ट की हैबिट हो गई तब फिर आपको प्राइस बदलने से फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. राइट. लेट्स से आप लोग कोई ब्रेड में जैम लगा के खाते हो, अब आपको जैम लगा के खाने का आदत हो गया, तो जैम का दाम थोड़ा सा बढ़ भी जाए तो आपको फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, डिमांड इनइलास्टिक है. बट अगर जैम का आपको इतना शौक नहीं है, आप बस यूज करते हो, बट आप देखते हो जैम का प्राइस बहुत बढ़ गया है, तो आप बोलते हो नहीं अब जैम खरीदना छोड़ देते हैं, क्योंकि ऐसा कोई हैबिट तो है नहीं, तो डिमांड हो जाता है इलास्टिक. डिमांड इलास्टिक तभी होगा जब वो प्रोडक्ट हैबिचुअल ना हो. अगर आप हैबिचुअल हो चुके हो तो डिमांड इनइलास्टिक हो जाएगा, क्योंकि आप डिमांड बदल नहीं पाओगे, आपको वो प्रोडक्ट चाहिए मतलब चाहिए. My dear friends, factors affecting price elasticity of demand. Is it crystal clear? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no, friends? Come on, everybody. Yes or no? The main portion of this topic is over. Come on, everybody. Is that crystal clear? Yes or no? Come on, friends. Yes, sir. Clear. So if this portion is crystal clear, let's move on to income elasticity of demand. Now it's very simple. Very simple now. Pay attention. Same formula. In price elasticity of demand, what was the formula? Percentage change in quantity demanded was the numerator, and the factor, that is percentage change in price, was the denominator. Percentage change in quantity demand was the numerator, percentage change in price was the denominator. Correct? Acha, one of our friends is asking, sir, what is relative price? Relative price means price of a commodity compared to some other commodity. किसी कमोडिटी का प्राइस को अगर आप किसी और से कंपेयर करोगे, उसको बोलते हैं कंपैरेटिव या रिलेटिव प्राइस. लेट्स मूव ऑन. इनकम इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड. Income elasticity of demand is similar to price elasticity of demand. In price elasticity of demand, what we were studying? Change in demand due to change in own price of the commodity. Due to own price of the commodity. Okay, due to own price of the commodity. In income elasticity of demand, we are studying change in quantity demanded due to change in income of the consumer. Oh, here we are studying income. So just like percentage change in price was the denominator there, in income elasticity of demand, percentage change in income is the denominator. That's it. That's it. Now, sir, there can be three types of income elasticity. Positive value. What does positive value mean? Positive value means if income rises, quantity rises. This happens for normal commodities. This happens for what? This happens for normal commodities. Very good. Similarly, if income falls, quantity demanded will also fall. That's for normal commodity. So there the income elasticity is positive, remember. बिकॉज सेम डायरेक्शन में ट्रेवल कर रहे हैं ना, तो दोनों नेगेटिव होगा तो भी कट जाएगा, दोनों पॉजिटिव हुआ तो देन आल्सो इट इज पॉजिटिव. देयरफॉर दैट इज पॉजिटिव इनकम इलास्टिसिटी. सर व्हाट इज नेगेटिव इनकम इलास्टिसिटी? सो सपोज अ राइज इन इनकम इज लीडिंग टू फॉल इन डिमांड. You remember I explained you inferior goods. When your income rises, will you consume inferior goods anymore? No, sir, we will shift to better commodities. That's what I'm saying. So when your income rises, quantity demanded falls. That's called negative income elasticity. That's called negative income elasticity. That's called negative income elasticity. Got it, sir. Got it, sir. Moving on, sir. Moving on, sir. Finally, moving on to zero income elasticity. So suppose your rise in income or fall in income is having no effect on demand. So if income is rising or falling, there is no change in demand. That is called zero income elasticity. So what is positive? When both are rising, happens in normal goods. What is negative? When rise in income leads to fall in demand. Obviously in case of inferior goods. अरे बाबा, if my income is rising, अगर मेरा income बढ़ रहा है, मैं inferior goods consume ज्यादा करूंगा कि कम? कम, क्योंकि अब मैं normal पे shift करूंगा. So एक बढ़ने से दूसरा घट रहा है, negative relationship या inverse relationship. That's what we are studying here. Income elasticity positive, income elasticity negative. अच्छा. Now, when we talk, obviously, when we talk about positive income elasticity, it can be greater than 1, it can be between 0 to 1, or it can be equal to 1. That is obvious. Because any value positive, it happens for normal goods. That's right. But positive means 0 to 1. Na? So it beyond 1 also. So if it is greater than 1, it is positive income elastic. If it is between 0 to 1, it is positive but income inelastic. And if it is exactly 1, it is positive income unitary elastic, because 1. So that's very simple. My dear friends, that's about income elasticity of demand. Let me ask you an MCQ question, okay? Let's see. Rohit was consuming pahadi rice, bracket में, a poor quality rice, let's say. His income went up. His income went up. what will be the nature of income elasticity of demand? Options are as follows. A, positive income elasticity, positively elastic, positively elastic. B, negative elastic income elasticity, or zero. D, none of above. D, none of above. What do you think is the case of Rohit? What do you think, friends? Come on, everybody, answer me. What will be the nature of income elasticity? Absolutely correct. It's very good to see that you people are listening, because only those that are listening, जो सुन रहे हैं वही आंसर देंगे नेगेटिव इलास्टिसिटी. क्यों? क्योंकि इनकम बढ़ने की वजह से जो वो पुअर क्वालिटी राइस कंज्यूम कर रहा था, अब उसका कंजम्पशन कम कर देगा. सो इन इनकम रिजल्टिंग इन फॉल इन डिमांड, इट्स कॉल्ड नेगेटिव और इनवर्स रिलेशनशिप. नेगेटिव और इनवर्स रिलेशनशिप. पॉजिटिव रिलेशनशिप डायरेक्ट होता है, नेगेटिव रिलेशनशिप इनवर्स होता है. Obviously, all of you friends understand that. Correct, sir. Correct, sir. Moving on to zero cross elasticity. So what is zero cross elasticity, friends? Now we will discuss cross elasticity. Matter of fact, I did not explain cross elasticity only, so now I'll do that. But my dear friends, you will be surprised to know, but income elasticity is also over. Okay, let's talk about cross elasticity now. Let's talk about cross elasticity of demand now. Cross elasticity. So friends, it is the degree of responsiveness of quantity demanded due to, again, change in price, but this time not due to own price. This time due to change in price of related commodities. That is the price of complementary goods or the price of substitute goods. So when there is a change in demand, not because of change in own price or because of income, because of change in price of other commodity. That is it. Got it, sir. So before I move to cross elasticity, I will summarize income elasticity once more in Hindi. Income elasticity का मतलब income की वजह से quantity demanded कितने से बदलेगा. इसका फॉर्मूला है परसेंटेज चेंज इन क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड बाय परसेंटेज चेंज इन इनकम. अगर पॉजिटिव इनकम इलास्टिसिटी है, इसका मतलब इनकम बढ़ता है तो डिमांड बढ़ता है, इनकम घटता है तो डिमांड घटता है. पॉजिटिव इनकम इलास्टिसिटी किसके केस में होता है? नॉर्मल कमोडिटी जैसे कपड़ों के केस में. आपका इनकम बढ़ेगा तो आप ज्यादा कपड़े खरीदोगे. नेगेटिव इनकम इलास्टिसिटी कब होता है? इंफीरियर गुड्स के केस में, जहां पर इनकम बढ़ रहा है तो क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड घट रहा है. ये कब होता है? इंफीरियर गुड्स के केस में, क्योंकि अब आप बेटर कमोडिटी पे शिफ्ट हो गए तो इंफीरियर का डिमांड आप कम कर देते हो. और जीरो इनकम इलास्टिसिटी कब होता है? जब इनकम का बढ़ना या घटना बिल्कुल मैटर नहीं करता है. क्रिस्टल क्लियर? नाउ कमिंग बैक टू क्रॉस इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड. व्हाट इज क्रॉस इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड? What is cross elasticity of demand? So cross elasticity of demand, my dear friends, is the responsiveness of quantity demanded to change in price of not the own commodity, other commodity. So here is the formula: percentage change in quantity demanded of commodity X by percentage change in price of not commodity X, percentage change in price of commodity Y. This commodity Y could be one of the three. It could be a complementary good, that is goods that are used together, car and petrol. It could be a competitive goods like a substitute good, tea and coffee, or it could be an unrelated good, that is has no relationship, like salt and television. They have no relationship. Salt and mobile phone, no relationship. So it could be in either of the three. That is cross elasticity of demand. Now you all tell me, if price of Y rises, quantity of X will rise. If this happens, then obviously cross elasticity will be positive. When does it happen? That is, Y became expensive, so demand for X rose. Yes, you are correct. When the goods are substitute. So if price of coffee goes up, demand for tea will go up. There is direct relationship and positive cross elasticity. Okay. So when does it happen, sir? That when price of Y goes up, demand for X goes down. When Y and X are complementary. So suppose car has become expensive. Demand for car went down. So demand for petrol also went down. So if we see inverse relationship, that is negative cross elasticity, we say the goods are complementary. But if you see zero, it means the goods are unrelated. The change in price of Y has no impact on change in demand for X. Like television and salt, there is no relationship whatsoever. Got it, sir. Got it, sir. Got it, sir. Let's have a look here. Types. If you look at types here, my dear friends, positive cross elasticity. It happens in substitute goods. Remember, why positive? Because price of tea increases, then quantity of coffee will rise. So same direction. So positive cross elasticity happens in case of substitute goods. Negative cross elasticity happens in case of absolutely correct complementary goods. Complementary goods. And zero cross elasticity for unrelated goods. Acha, is that so, sir? Yes, that is so. Like television and salt. All right. If car price rises, petrol demand falls. That is negative cross elasticity. Inverse relationship. Whenever you hear the word negative, it will always show inverse relationship. Whenever you hear the word positive, it will always show direct relationship. But that is the trick. My dear friends, all the types of elasticities we have successfully covered. All the types of elasticities we have successfully covered. What is advertisement elasticity? Very easy. Percentage change in quantity demanded by percentage change in advertisement. It is used to see the impact of advertisement on demand. I will write it down for you, don't worry. But there it is, the major portions of elasticity. I will write it down for you, don't worry. Advertising elasticity that you asked. Okay? Advertisement elasticity. So, elasticity of advertisement is nothing but percentage change in quantity demanded by percentage change in advertisement. So suppose it is positive. It means if advertisement expenditure has incurred, quantity demanded has incurred. So if it is positive, means advertisement is favorable. We should continue with the advertisement, as because of advertisement, demand is rising. But think of this way. If advertisement expenditure is rising, which is resulting in cost, quantity demanded falling. So advertisement is unfavorable for the commodity. It is producing a negative impact. It is producing a negative image. But if due to increase in advertisement expenditure, quantity demanded has remained the same. So advertisement is having no impact on demand. So advertisement is a waste. Advertisement is just a waste because it is causing no impact. Oh, is that so, sir? Yes, my dear friends, that is advertising elasticity of demand. I hope it's crystal clear, mates. Yes or no, please. Yes or no, please. Come on, everybody. The concepts are very simple. So we did not, now I am planning to solve MCQs if you will allow me to. After discussing a brief about forecasting, then we will talk about MCQs. That's why I'm waiting for you all. Okay, sir. Correct, sir. Correct, sir. So now let's talk about forecasting. Forecasting. Now I have come to institute material straight away because you just have to read it. You just read it and it's enough. Okay, you just have to read it and that's enough. Acha, before that, advertisement elasticity I will revise. Advertisement elasticity का मतलब होता है कि अगर आपने एडवर्टाइजमेंट एक्सपेंडिचर चेंज किया तो क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड पर क्या इंपैक्ट आया. अब सोचिए ना, डायरेक्ट रिलेशनशिप है. एडवर्टाइजमेंट एक्सपेंडिचर बढ़ा तो क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड भी बढ़ा. इसका मतलब फेवरेबल इंपैक्ट है, एडवर्टाइजमेंट अच्छा हो रहा है. अगर एडवर्टाइजमेंट बढ़ने की वजह से क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड घट रहा है, मतलब एडवर्टाइजमेंट का नेगेटिव इंपैक्ट आ गया आपके ऊपर. और अगर एडवर्टाइजमेंट की वजह से कोई इंपैक्ट आ ही नहीं रहा है तो एडवर्टाइजमेंट एक वेस्ट है. Understood? Now come back to this topic, forecasting. Forecasting means, trying to estimate the demand for the upcoming time period. Forecasting can be done at a macro level where you estimate national income. You just have to read it. It can be done at industry level where, we can estimate in demand for industry products. Like for example, food industry, how much fast food will be consumed in the next year. That is industry level. And firm level means how much will be there for demand for Domino's products. Domino's pizza. That is firm level. Also, there are three levels. Macro means the entire country, nation. Industry means a particular business entity nature. For example, cement industry. Not a company, but an industry. And when we talk about firm level, we are talking about a demand for, possible demand for a company's products. Okay, sir. Crystal clear. Got it, sir. So now, my dear friends, let's learn about different types of goods. One is producer goods, one is consumer goods. What are producer goods? Machines. Consumer goods are those goods which ultimate consumer consumes. I will explain it in Hindi and then repeat it. First I'll explain it in English, then repeat it. See, producer goods are goods like machines which are used in producing consumer goods. So suppose I am buying a chips packet. I will consume it directly. That is a consumer good. But pay attention. If I buy a machine that manufactures chips, that machine is a producer goods. Oh, sir, that's very simple. Correct. Durable and non-durable goods. My dear friend, durable goods are like furniture, laptop, mobile phone. You know, anything in your house which will last more than a year or two, that is durable. But non-durable is that has to be consumed or it will go waste, like vegetables and fruits. If you don't eat them within a day or two, they will be spoiled. That is non-durable goods, not long-lasting. Correct? Moving on. Derived demand and autonomous demand. That's very interesting. My dear friends. Acha, by the way, first two I will explain in Hindi, then I will move on to the third one. Pay attention. Producer goods का मतलब वो goods होता है जो किसी और कंज्यूमर गुड्स को बनाने में हेल्प करेंगे फर्दर. कंज्यूमर गुड्स का मतलब वो गुड्स जो सीधा कंज्यूमर अल्टीमेटली कंज्यूम कर लेगा, जो अल्टीमेट कंज्यूमर सीधा कंज्यूम कर लेगा. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट, ड्यूरेबल एंड नॉन ड्यूरेबल गुड्स. अगर कोई कमोडिटी लॉन्ग टर्म लास्ट करेगा, अगर कोई कमोडिटी लॉन्ग टर्म लास्ट करेगा, उसको अपने ड्यूरेबल गुड बोलते हैं. अगर कोई कमोडिटी लॉन्ग टर्म लास्ट नहीं करेगा, उसको अपने लोग नॉन ड्यूरेबल कमोडिटी बोलते हैं. ठीक है ना. नेक्स्ट वी मूव ऑन टू derived demand and autonomous demand. Pay attention everybody. Pay attention everybody. You will understand. Right, sir? Okay. Go ahead, sir. Pay attention everyone. Guys, I have a question. All of us dream of one of two things. You tell me, what do you dream of? Number one, a proper house, a good house, a good bungalow. Option 1 or option 2, cement, paint, stone chips, sand. Two options are there. Which one do you dream of, or which one does any one of us want? Please tell me. Obviously, everybody will say, sir, house or a bungalow. No, why will somebody dream of cement, sand? Why will we do that? Exactly my point. When there is a direct demand for some commodity, that is autonomous demand, like bungalow, house. But in order to make that house, don't we need cement? Don't we need labor? Don't we need sand? Don't we need stone chips? Yes, sir. That is derived demand. Oh, so demand for those commodities that arise to satisfy the autonomous or the direct demand is called derived demand. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So pay attention everybody. Now when you are studying economics with me, you know, what is your direct demand for? To understand economics as a subject? Because you want to understand economics as a subject, that's why my demand arose. So my demand is derived demand, but knowledge for economics, demand is direct demand. So in order to satisfy that direct demand, the teacher's demand arose. That is derived demand. I hope it's crystal clear everybody. मैं उम्मीद करता हूं क्लियर है. तो ऑटोनोमस डिमांड मतलब वो कमोडिटीज जो आपको डायरेक्टली चाहिए, और डिराइव डिमांड मतलब वो कमोडिटीज जो आपको चाहिए जिससे आप डायरेक्ट डिमांड को सेटिस्फाई कर सको. आपको घर डायरेक्टली चाहिए, वो हो गया ऑटोनोमस डिमांड. पर घर बनाने के लिए सीमेंट, सैंड, लेबर चाहिए, वो हो गया डिराइव्ड डिमांड. आई होप इट्स क्रिस्टल क्लियर. यस सर. Demand for firms, product and industry demand, very simple. So if we talk about steel industry, how much steel is being sold a year? That is industry demand. But if you talk about how much steel is being demanded or sold by Tata Iron and Steel Company, an individual firm, that is called firm's demand. Very simple, sir. Very simple. Yes, sir, that's crystal clear. That is demand for firm's product. Okay, moving on. Short run demand and long run demand. Short run demand refers to demand with its immediate reaction to changes in product price. Right? Long term demand means demand over a long period. Okay, where you will need credit facilities, etc. So like electricity rates, they are reduced in the short run The existing consumers will make more use of electricity. That is short run. But in long run, people will buy electric appliances. See, if price of electricity is falling, what will people start doing? They will switch on their fans and ACs for more time period. But as far as buying electric appliance is concerned, they will buy it over a longer period. So that is long-term demand. Okay. Short-term means the demand that will change immediately. Long-term that will change after some time. After some time. Okay. Right, sir. So this is it. This much we have understood. Now let's try solving some questions. Okay. And what is this, sir? Methods of demand forecasting. That is, how do researchers estimate demand? So they ask buyers, they interview the buyers, read them out. Don't do ratification. Read all of them out. Main things we have understood in detail. So don't worry about that. Main things we have understood in detail. So don't worry about that. This is just for reading. Just read it out and move forward. Okay. Don't need to stick with it. Okay. So survey of buyers' intentions. Number one. Number two, collective opinion method. Here, sales personnel are asked. That sales personnel are told you visit people's places, and then sales personnel are asked about what was their opinion on how people are behaving. Expert opinion. Here you asked a market expert, like a stock market expert. You ask about stock market shares. So that's that way, right? Statistical methods. Here you see the trend, like whether you draw a graph and see what is happening to the graph. So if let's say hand sanitizer is going like this, it means the demand is on the rise. So this kind of techniques that we use. Now mere reading of this technique is enough. You don't need to stick to each one of them. Neither is there any importance of the same. So now let me ask you another MCQ question. Okay, let's solve some MCQ question. Help me out. Come on, everybody. My question is, come on, everybody. Income of a consumer rose from, I will not give you options this time. This time I will not give you options. Rose from rupees 5,000 per month to rupees 8,000 per month. Quantity demanded rose from let's say 100 units to 120 units, right? Calculate income elasticity of demand. What nature of commodity? What is the nature of commodity? Meaning, is it a necessity? Is it a inferior goods, or is it a normal good? This is being asked. Or is it an inexpensive necessity? Come on, everybody, solve it out. I am not giving you any option. No option given this time. I am confident on you all. You will answer this, I am sure. After our lengthy discussion, I am sure you all will answer correctly. I have no doubt. Come on, copy this question and answer it. Let's see. Correct. Wow. And I asked for income elasticity of demand. Be careful, friends. All right, so let's see what it is. What was the original income? 5,000. What is the new income? 8,000. So what is the change in income of the consumer? Income has risen by 3,000. So can you calculate the percentage change? Yes. Change is 3,000. Percentage change in income I am finding out. 3,000 by what was the original income? 5,000 into 100. Okay. So 30 gone 20. So income has risen by 60%. Okay. Income has risen by 60%. Okay. We have got this much. Now what is the case with quantity demanded? Let's see. So originally quantity demanded was, pay attention everybody. Originally quantity demanded was 100. New quantity is 120 units. So what is the change in quantity demanded? Yes, you guessed it correct. Yes, you all guessed it correct. That's the change in quantity demanded here is equal to, pay attention everyone, the change in quantity demanded here is equals to 20 units. So what is percentage change in quantity? 20 divided by original, that is 100 into 100. So it is changing by 20%. Now you all know demand is always the numerator. So income elasticity is demand is always the numerator. So 20%. Both are positive because both are rising. And here it is 60%. Gone, 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 gone. 1 by 3. 1 by 3 is 0.33. So answer will be 0.33. Income elasticity of demand. Number one. And yes, since it is positive, the commodity must be a correct normal commodity. The commodity must be a normal commodity. That's right. What must be the commodity? Yes, what must the commodity be? It must be a normal commodity. Guys, if you are ready, I will throw the next question at you. Come on, everyone. Are we ready, everybody? Yes, sir. Got it, sir. Moving on. Pay attention, everybody. Price of product X rose from rupees 10 to rupees 15 due to which quantity of product Y fell from 80 units to 60 units. Compute cross elasticity. Also find the nature of commodity, whether they are or relationship between X and Y, whether they are substitutes, complementary, or not related at all. Relationship between the two. Two questions asked, answer it fast. Come on, everybody, let's see. Let's see. Let's see, come on. Try it out, everybody. So yes, if we solve it, pay attention. So price 1 was 10, price 2 is 15. So what is change in price? It has risen by 5. So what is the percentage change in price? Change in price by original price into 100. That is 50%. Now, this is for product what? This is for product X, okay? This is for product X, okay? So product X we are talking. Now let's talk about product Y. Quantity originally was 80. Quantity has fallen down to 60, okay? So change in quantity is new minus old, yani ki minus 20. What is percentage change in quantity? It is fall by minus 20. What was the original quantity? 80 into 100. So 4 and here it's gone 25. So it's minus 25%. Correct? Now, if you see, the quantity will always be the numerator. Okay. So minus 25% is the numerator, right? 50% is the denominator. 2. So it is minus 0.5. And guess what? This is the value of elasticity. Since the elasticity value is negative, what does it tell us about the relationship between the commodities X and Y? Can you tell me? What is the relationship between commodity X and Y? Yes, you guessed it right, friends. Yes, you guessed it right, friends. That they are complementary goods, because complementary goods are inversely related to one another, That's absolutely correct. One more question, guys. Last question of the day. Come on, everybody. Last question of the day. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. What is the question? The question is a rise in price of rupees, price from rupees 5 to rupees 7 of a commodity resulted in change in total expenditure from rupees 10,000 to rupees 15,000. What is the nature of elasticity? I am giving you options here. What is the nature of elasticity? A, inelastic. A, inelastic. B, elastic. C, unitary. Or D, perfectly inelastic. D, perfectly inelastic. Come on, everybody. Let's hear it from you. What you have to offer here. Come on, everybody, answer this question. Come on, everyone. And yes, in the last question, you all were correct. Goods are complementary because of negative relationship. Absolutely correct. But come on, answer this question. The last one for the day. Wow. So my dear friends, today we discussed total expenditure method. What did I teach you in total expenditure method? That if in total expenditure method, if price and total expenditure are in the same direction, demand will be not elastic. It will be, yes, you guessed it right, everybody. It will be inelastic in nature. It will be inelastic in nature. When is it elastic? When rise in price results in fall in total expenditure, or when price fall results in rise in total expenditure. So if there is direct relationship, it will be inelastic in nature. If there is inverse relationship, it is elastic in nature. And if there is no change in total expenditure, obviously it is unitary elastic. Obviously it is unitary elastic. If both are in the same direction, it has to be inelastic. So my dear friends, there we conclude with our unit 1 of chapter 2, demand and elasticity of demand. See you all with the next unit in the next class. Goodbye everyone. Thank you very much. Tata.